Hey, happy Saturday, and also happy Joe Perry's birthday. I like to celebrate that like it's a holiday. Uh, that's how I roll. So I'm just going to get right into what I want to do today, which is this kind of fun, cute little tag that I found. I couldn't sleep last night. So I was playing around online and I found all these YouTube tags. Some of them had super lame questions, like super lame. But some of them are actually really cute. And the one I want to do today is called the Throwback tag. Um, and look, I prepared. I said in my previous video that I wasn't going to write things down and I wasn't going to prepare, but I surprised myself. Look, I printed the questions out right here, right here. And I even have some things to show you that go along with the questions. So look at that. So let's get to the first question. The first question is, what year were you born in? I think I said this before too, but I was very proudly born in 1978. So I am 38 years old, almost 39. Never really had a problem telling people how old I am because, quite frankly, I feel like I earned those years. I mean, unless you're super, super lucky, you don't go through life like never having trials and tribulations or heartache or loss. Everybody goes through that. And if you've gone through that and you've survived it for 20, 30, 40, 70 years, why don't you just tell people? Tell people, yeah, I survived 70 years of heartache and loss and crazy shiz. Do you have any pictures of yourself from when you were younger? That's funny, and I'll tell you why that's funny. It's funny because it reminds me of Mitch Hedberg. May he rest in peace. But one of his jokes in his stand-up was when people say, "Do you want to see a picture of me when I was younger?" And he's like, "Every picture is a picture of you when you were younger. You can't say, 'Do you want to see a picture of me when I was older?'" So when I read that, it really made me laugh. But I do have a picture of me when I was younger. And it is right here. And wait until you see my awesome haircut. Look at me. This is a fancy picture. This is from the Olin Mills Portrait Studio. Obviously, this is me and my bitchin' haircut with the bangs, rocking the bangs. And this is my little brother, Polly. You could see clearly from this photograph that he is the more pleasant sibling. That is a fact that maintains to this day. Definitely the more pleasant sibling. But I remember this day very clearly. My mom took us to the mall. I got this banging haircut, and this cute little sundress. And then we went to the portrait studio and got this picture taken. And it just happened to be the only picture I could put my hands on right now. I'm sure we have like tons more. What is the next question? What TV shows did you watch growing up? Oh, what TV shows did I not watch growing up? I loved me some TV. I was I'm a shy and awkward adult. I was a really shy and awkward child, like painfully so. And I didn't have a whole lot of friends growing up. And don't trying to make you feel bad for me. I don't want to be like, oh, poor Missy had no friends. It's not like that. I just didn't. It's a fact of life. It's part of how I got to be who I am. But so I watched a lot. I read a lot of books and I watched a lot of TV. And I guess everybody who's under like 70 probably thinks that when they were growing up is when TV was the best. But I really genuinely believe like the 80s and like early 90s was the best TV time. Because you had the networks. I mean, you only had the networks. You didn't really, not everybody had cable, and cable didn't really do TV shows, right? So you had the networks that were at the top of their game. And then, like, for me and my brother and like my younger cousins, it was also like kind of the early days of Nickelodeon. So you had shows on the networks, and then you had all those great like classic Nick shows. Classic Nick is the shit. It is. I like Hey Dude. They should put Hey Dude on in reruns because I would still watch that now. They did show like every episode. It was like the 20th or 25th anniversary, and they showed like every episode of that like last year or the year before, and I watched a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie. What did you want to be when you grew up, and do you still want to be that? Well, I wanted to be an actress, and a lot of people are really surprised by that. On account of what I said before about being shy and awkward, people find it really difficult to believe that I would want to be involved in something like that. But honestly, like I think that's why I wanted to do it. Like, because I didn't have a lot of kids to play with, I got really good at imagining things and sort of playing make believe and acting things out. And I think I just saw acting as being like getting to play make believe for a living, you know? Like you could just make stuff up all the time and pretend to be somebody else and like pretend to be somebody that wasn't shy and awkward, which was super appealing to me back then. Do I still want to be it? I don't know. I mean, I'm not actively pursuing it. It's not anything I've looked at in like a practical way in years. But I have to imagine like if the opportunity ever presented itself, like if for some reason they happen to be making a film in my rinky-dink little town, and the opportunity to have a part in it came up, I have to imagine I probably wouldn't say no. I don't think I could. I don't think I could turn it down because I think that I would at least have to take a chance so that I could tell like 12-year-old me that 38-year-old me didn't let her down. You know, like 12-year-old me would never forgive me if I didn't at least give it a shot. So yeah, probably I would, but I'm not like actively pursuing it. What were your favorite toys to play with? I loved Barbies. I loved My Little Pony. I loved Cabbage Patch Dolls. But me being me, I also loved Transformers, and G.I. Joes. 'Cause well, I said I have a little brother. We're just shy of 4 years apart. So I played with a lot of his stuff too. And, ooh, let me show you what I have. Look at my pony. This is not mine. I lost mine years ago. This I bought on eBay. It cost me like 99 cents. It's not in pristine condition, but I'm not that sort of collector. I like to collect toys that remind me of stuff that I had when I was a kid, and oh, that's what I should do. One of these days I will show you my toy collection. And we'll have to learn how to work my video camera first because I obviously can't carry my laptop around. But I will show you the toys that I have. Some of them are modern things. Like, I mean, there's some Disney stuff. I have like Frozen stuff, Harry Potter stuff. But most of what I have is stuff that I bought because it reminded me of, it was from like the cartoons that I watched growing up, or it was a toy that I had growing up that I had lost. So this is Firefly. Firefly is a Pegasus. She is a Pegasus, not a unicorn. And this is how you tell the difference. See, Pegasus has wings. See your little wings right there? But no horn. The unicorns have horns, but no wings. Sometimes you'll see a depiction and it'll be like a unicorn with wings. That's not a thing. Unicorns don't have wings. And Pegasi don't have horns. But she has this awesome hair. She's pink. I think you can tell she's pink. And has this awesome blue hair and the little sparkly lightning bolts on her butt. And then I have this, and this was mine when I was a kid. And it looks kind of dirty. I don't think it looks as dirty on camera as it actually is in real life. But it is like 30 some years old. But I had a ton of these. This one's a preemie. It's a Cabbage Patch little figurine in a little bathtub. There's a little purple spongy thing there. And I had maybe 30 of these, and I used to act out little scenes with them, and that was always really fun. Someone stole my paper. What is the next one? Three songs you love to listen to as a child. I remember really loving Surfin' USA, the Beach Boys, because it was in the Teen Wolf movie with Michael J. Fox. If you've seen that, it's like when he's surfing on top of the van, and they're playing that song. And so I always loved when that would come on the radio. I loved Elvis. I loved the Beatles. I don't know if you guys know, well, you probably know the Tiffany version of I Think We're Alone Now, but before that came out, Tommy James and the Shondells, they sang the original version, and I loved that song when I was a kid, so I was actually really excited when Tiffany came out, when she remade that, and this is a really inappropriate song. I used to love Sleepin' Single in a Double Bed, which is by Barbara Mandrell. My aunt got me into listening to her, and I would watch her variety show on TV all the time. That song's not appropriate for children. I shouldn't have been listening to that, but I did, and I loved it, and I had no clue what it meant. But yeah, that was another song that I loved when I was growing up. There's a question on here about Halloween, and it's basically like one funny thing you dressed up as for Halloween. And I think all of my Halloween costumes were really normal for the time, but it got me thinking about those Halloween costumes we used to have as kids. If you're from that time, the plastic ones that were like plastic smocks and had like the body drawn on, and then it had these like horrible plastic masks with like the eye holes never lined up with your eyes, so you couldn't see, and you would trip over stuff and walk into stuff, and then this like little teeny tiny hole that they thought you were going to breathe from, and you would get so hot, and like the sides of the mask would like dig into your face. But everybody wore those, like everybody. And the best one I ever had was the year that I was Snow White, and I loved it, even though the mask was really uncomfortable. But I was just really excited to be a Disney princess, because I always loved the Disney princesses, and I think that's the only year I dressed as one. Yeah, but I started thinking of those, and I think those things were super flammable too. Like, I'm pretty sure you could never market something like that now, because I'm pretty sure that like you could have just combusted at any time. Are there any special things you've kept from when you were a child? Ooh, I'm going to show you my lovey. This is my lovey. A woman that my mother worked with gave her to me when I was 2, and I named her after that woman. So this is Molly, my Molly. So she's 36 years old now. Look, she has no nose. And you can't see, she has a bunch of boo-boos. She needs some surgery. She's got some holes, but I don't know how to sew. So I got to find somebody who does, that can like maybe put some more stuffing in her and fix her up a little bit. And the last question is, what was something weird you used to do as a child? How long do you have? I don't have long, because I really do think that 15 minutes goes really fast. But I did a lot of weird things as a child, but here's the one I'm going to tell you about. I was like 8, and I decided that I needed to have an alter ego, and I created one who was not a person, but a fly. She was the princess fly, to be exact. And in case you're curious what she looked like, she was a fly, clearly, in a big sort of like lavender fluffy party dress with sparkles, and a tiara and like a scepter. And I drew a picture of her castle, and all of the flags and the banners were all like pink and purple, because those were my favorite colors. My nose itches. I'm just gonna rub it, because whatever. I mean, whatever. I'm telling you about my fly alter ego. Rubbing my nose that itches in front of you is probably the least of my problems right now. So I made her up one day when I was with my dad over my aunt's house, and I don't know if I was just bored, or if it was just that I wanted to be annoying. But she could only communicate by buzzing because she was a fly, and that's how flies communicate. I mean, that's pretty logical, right? So, yeah, I made a real nuisance of myself that day with her. I was pretty obsessed with being the princess fly for quite a while. And even now, though, I was telling my best friend that I sort of like to think that the princess fly still exists inside of me. But she's not the same as she used to be. Now I just like to think of her as being like my sort of like Superman. You know, every day I'm mild-mannered Missy, but the Princess Fly is the superhero that I have inside of me. And she's the part of me that is the weirdness and the fun and the not so much caring what other people think. Yeah, so I like to think she never really went away. So that was the last question. There were actually more questions on there, but some of them were not applicable to my life at all. And there's one about video, like show a video from when you were younger. I forget that YouTube is like a lot of really young people. And like I grew up in the 80s and we didn't put everything on video because we were out living our lives. But yeah, I don't have any videos of me from when I was younger. We didn't even have, I bought a video camera like 5 years ago, and that's the first one we ever owned. So I hope you like this tag. I would really love to hear your answers to some or all, any of the questions that I mentioned in this tag. Particularly if you would like to tell me the story of something weird that you used to do when you were a kid, that I would love to hear. Because when you're a weirdo, you like to hear about other people who are weirdos. So yeah, so that's it for today. Always forget what I'm supposed to say here. I always forget what the whole YouTube spiel is, right? You're supposed to comment, subscribe, thumbs up. I like the thumbs up. I like to do the thumbs up because I feel like I'm playing like, where is Thumbkin? Where is Thumbkin? Where is Thumbkin? Do all of those things. Super pretty please, because that is how other people will see my videos. If you interact so lovingly and kindly with my videos, then they'll show up for other people to see. And I will be back in a few days with another video, probably about some things that I have read online this week. Maybe, I don't know what else. You know what? I don't know. I have to think about it. But I hope everybody's having a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye!